for the year. Once again, I am very excited to bring in my special guest host. I'm Brian Noonan. You know that. You don't have to be told that. But my special guest host is Craig Collins. You know him
Yeah.
from afternoons at WMBD. You know him from co-hosting here for a long time. I'm glad you're back for another week. You didn't quit after the first week. Things are.
I did.
I'm knocking on wood.
No, I did quit. You just didn't accept it. So I'm here. I'm waiting for you to accept the quitting, and then I will have quit. But I don't know when that's going to happen.
Probably 90 minutes or so. Probably about 90 minutes. I'll accept your resignation.
All right,
we'll see.
That's good.
Yeah. We do the quick check-in. How are you, Craig, since we last spoke?
I think I'm good. I'm not sure. I didn't expect this question. I think I'm good.
All right. You're looking. You're at a different angle. It's throwing me off just a bit.
Okay.
But I'll get used to it.
All right. I apologize. I can go back to the other angle.
No. I want you to know that I pay attention to you when you're here.
Yes. Well,
I don't just
wanted
take
you
for
to
granted
know
that your head is
right.
Your head is on screen, so everything's fine.
I switched the camera because I wanted you to know that I pay attention to you, unlike last week when all I did was stare at like a different. I was looking away the whole time, so I wanted to fix that problem. So now,
it wasn't obvious that you were looking away. You seemed engaged, which is
I don't know
really
if you remember this
matters.
about me. I go back and I watch all the stuff we do. I watch the whole thing. I listen to my own show on podcasts from time to time. I have an obsession, and I still do that. I'm still curious.
You know what?
Go ahead.
That's why you're successful.
No, I don't know about that. It makes it very hard to air check me because no one's bringing me new stuff. I'm like, no, I remember that. I heard that. Those are my thoughts too on why it was bad. So, yeah.
Well, here's the reason I don't listen back, because I always assume nobody is listening, which is wrong.
Not
because
good.
I got immediate feedback from Dave Plyer last week, who
Nice.
said, "Oh, I heard your podcast about my party. Thank you for the nice words." And I was like, "Oh,
right.
You're welcome, first of all." And why are you listening?
Hey, that's good. It's so odd. I did not hear from David Plyer, and I'm still not invited. And that's something I complained about constantly.
Listen, you did bring that up. Wait till next year.
I'm waiting.
You'll probably get in.
I'm going to send him my address just in case he needs it.
Let's say Happy Hanukkah. It's the first night of Hanukkah for all our friends celebrating the 8 crazy nights. Do you know the background of Hanukkah? This is a question I throw at you just with no prep.
I don't know what you mean by the background. Do I know that it's a holiday? Do I know how the basics of it work? Those are things that are
the basics. That's all I need.
I even had friends that were Jewish that celebrated Hanukkah, so I'm aware of some of the things. As a Catholic, I don't celebrate that holiday, so I doubt I know a lot about it.
No, I know the basics. Here's what I don't know.
All right.
Christmas is spelled one way. Hanukkah, when you try to put it in something and you spell check it, there's at least 2, sometimes 4.
Oh,
I was putting Hanukkah in the update for that we were going to be on tonight instead of tomorrow.
Okay.
And I typed in Hanukkah phonetically, which I knew was wrong, but I knew something would pop up and I'd get choices.
Phonetically with an H first?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's already a mistake, I think.
Well, not according to spell check. Because there's the H with a couple of Ks, there's the H with the 1 K, there's the CH, the Shaka Hanukkah, as I like to say.
Right.
So that's the only part that really confuses me about Hanukkah. I get the gist of the rest of it.
How to spell it is your biggest problem.
Yes.
I love
appeal
that.
to my Jewish friends. Can we please one spelling? That's all.
Right.
Everything
I'm not
else.
going to make any demands. They go whatever way you want.
I'm just thinking it'd be easier. You know what? If you want something to be, we live in a time where there's a lot of anti-Semitism.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And I'm not joking. I guess I am joking a little. Make it more accessible just so people can look. So the dumb people who don't get it and like, I don't know what them Jewish people are celebrating with candles, they can look it up easier than use it. Now Cindy says it's got the 2 Ks.
All right.
I saw the first one that popped up today when I put it in was the 1K.
I thought the C did matter. I thought you had to have the CH. Like that's what I don't know. I feel like I've been told that at some point.
Craig, I back you up 100%. I lived that for years.
Right.
I always threw the CH on there.
Yes.
And then, then I was always told no, that was,
Gotcha.
So who knows? But happy Hanukkah. It's the first night. I hope you get, you're spinning the dreidel and you're getting some gelt and you're having a lovely meal with your family and you're lighting that first candle on the menorah. And there you go.
And you got the kippah on. You're doing all the stuff.
Yeah, oh man, it's a wild night.
It is.
They get now. I've heard differing things. Most of the people I know who are Jewish, they say that the nights are the gifts are small for 8 nights.
Right. I don't know why we're trying to figure out Hanukkah as two guys that don't celebrate it. But
I'm not.
yes, I've also been told that actually, I had one friend who celebrated both Christmas and Hanukkah.
Yeah.
He said that's the best. That's the hack. But he said the Hanukkah gifts would ramp. They would go upward over the 8 days.
Sense. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, that's listen, I understand it. I'm not trying to understand it. I'm just,
I was kidding.
Everybody celebrates it so differently.
Yes.
You could ask two different families and they're going to celebrate things. The basics are there, but then the accoutrements.
Yeah. I like JP, John Paul chiming in. I should have brought the meat. I had a meat box given to me on Saturday from Allwyn and Sons. I did a remote there, a gift box full of meat. I don't have any of it prepared for today. Yeah. Yeah. And I got the one with the fillets in it, which is the extra fancy one, which they were very kind to give me. Yes. Yeah.
That's very nice. Well, I saw you at some other bigwig Peoria shindig where you were all dressed up. What was that? Did you have reindeer makeup on?
No, I co-hosted the Torch Awards for the Better Business Bureau here. That was on Thursday night of last week with Greg Batten. Greg was definitely the funny guy, and I definitely played the straight man role at the award show, which I enjoyed that quite a bit because I just sort of did the things I was supposed to do, and then Greg Batten went rogue the entire evening.
Every Jerry Lewis needs a Dean Martin.
And including losing an entire page of the script at one point, which was actually turned into one of the funniest jokes of the night.
Was he drunk?
No, he was not. I can swear to you that he wasn't.
Well, listen, usually if you lose part of the script, you're a little off
He might have been sabotaged. I don't know.
Sabotaged.
I like to say it that way.
William Shatner it?
Yeah, I do. Sabotage. All
right. So wait, now you have a box of uncooked meats?
Yes. I have a box of 8 uncooked meats.
Wow, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. I'm not going to cook them all at once. I'm not going to be an idiot about it.
No, don't cook. It saves. Are you going to do some for Christmas? Are you going to have a special
I think we'll have 2 meats. I think 2 meats will be available for Christmas. I'll make no more than 2 meats. The other 6 will be stored.
There are only 2 of you. Will you each eat 2 separate, or are you going to do one fillet and one something else, or 2 and 2?
We're going to be with other people now. Actually, we're going to travel. Really? So yeah, there's going to be like 8 people, and I think I'm only going to bring the 2 meats. So I don't know who's going to get the other. I'm definitely getting one. I have enough to give everyone a meat, and I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
Can I ask where you're going?
I'm going to go to South Bend, where my brother lives.
Okay, and you're not going to bring your brother some meat as a nice Christmas
gesture?
Well,
technically, if Betty doesn't want one, then I guess Lars can have one, but his family can't have any then. So I don't know.
How does this work? How does this work when you go to someone's home for a meal? You bring your own meat and then you make them cook it?
Yeah, that would be a part of it.
Your special meat.
No,
and they don't.
So many euphemisms.
They don't. Well, yeah, but I'm going straight up protein now, which I guess could be another euphemism. But
yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
My wife is an incredible cook. You know what? To be honest, we probably won't bring the meats. To be honest, it probably won't happen. My wife is an incredible cook, though. I would love it if she cooked food, no matter where we go. But she doesn't like doing that. She feels like when she goes to someone else's home, it's wrong to jump in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So there's no solution. We can't ask others to cook it. We can't cook it ourselves. So we would just sit there with frozen meat and no way to prepare it. I guess if I do bring it.
I must say this.
Yeah.
If you've accepted an invitation to go to someone's house for a meal, you eat what they offer you.
They didn't say that a meal was involved. I'm just going to their house. There's no one has brought up a meal.
What time of day are you going to their house?
I don't want to answer that question.
Say late lunch, early dinner?
I'd like to plead the 5th on that one because it's obvious then. We'll be going around 4:30. 5 o'clock or so.
Oh, wow, that sounds. Yeah. Listen. I know I'm weird. My family's a little odd. 5 o'clock sounds like it may be close to dinner time.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would like to bring the meat just to be safe.
I think it would be nice if your brother's family had eaten Christmas dinner at 2,
right,
and told you to come at 4.
That'd be great.
So they don't have to give you a meal.
Yeah. I'll bring my little.
They don't let you cook your meat.
I'll bring my little portable grill, the little tiny one that like sits on the ground. And if by chance there is no food at this, I will bring my meat outside and cook it myself.
You sitting on the driveway by yourself on Christmas, where it's projected to be like 4 degrees.
Grilling meat.
Nice. Yeah,
I would do it.
Just grilling meat.
Yeah. I don't know why you're acting as though that would be bad. To grill 2 filet mignons in the dead of winter would be totally fine with me.
If I was staying at my own home with my beloved, I would 100% do that.
By the way, I got trapped into the weirdness of this.
Listen, I'm going to my brother's for Christmas. He invited us. I would not dream of, like I'll say, what can I bring? Maybe I bring an appetizer or a dessert, but I would never dream of bringing my own entree and then going, listen, can you guys make room for me in the kitchen? Because I have to cook my own stuff. And
I didn't say I was doing that. I just said that there was the potential to bring the meat and then not really have a conversation and just see what happens. So, it's a wait and see situation.
That's kind of what we just did. We kind of saw what happened.
All right. Maybe I won't bring it. I don't know.
You know what you could do? Bring it, show it off, and then put it back in the car because it'll stay cold.
That's true.
Just bring it in and go, we're having tomorrow, suckers. Ha! Yeah, none for you. Bye.
Maybe I just pull over on the side of the road halfway there and have my meat before the show. That sounded wrong.
You'd share your meat with Betty on the side of the road?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, how great would that look Christmas Eve to pull over to the side of the road on the highway and just be grilling two steaks and eating them in our car? And then I get there with like the sauce all over me.
What kind of sauce are you putting on a filet?
Actually, I don't put anything on. That's totally, I don't put anything.
I was going to call you out on that.
No, that'd
Except
be wrong.
maybe a nice béarnaise. You throw
no,
a little béarnaise
I don't use A1 on any steak at all. I don't think I think it's terrible.
I do too. If you buy a good steak, putting anything on it is
it's
oh
wrong.
My God.
Yes.
Yeah, you're just.
I just said it because it'd be funny for the joke.
It was funny for the joke. But then I have to bring it back. The joke was funny, but then I have to base it because I'm serious about my meats. And it sounds like you are too with a fancy box.
Oh my God. Although actually I was sitting there.
Now, was that in lieu of payment or was that a bonus?
That was a bonus. That was, I don't want to get into it. Yeah, I know it's a great bonus.
Give that business a plug again.
Allwyn and Sons, they're the meat company here in Peoria. Anybody should go there. I think a lot of people do. And actually, they needed your orders to be ordered by Saturday. Yeah, it'll be tough.
Only Craig gets special Christmas meat.
No, they can try. Well, the boxes, they still have those. If you want to get a holiday box, those were available still.
But like a custom order. If I wanted a 58-pound prime rib.
Right. That's not going to happen. They have giant hams too, by the way.
Really?
They do. I'm not a ham guy, and I didn't admit that during the broadcast. Yeah, okay.
There you go. Ham is the devil's protein.
Well, I've made this argument before. The only reason ham's not great is because bacon exists. You can't have something be the best version of a thing and then think the other versions are still good. Bacon is hands down way. If you could bacon steak, I'm not sure if I would like steak as much, but you can't. There's nobody that makes a great steak bacon. That's not a thing.
No, but you could get a bacon wrapped filet and then you get the best of both worlds.
Right. That's what
Maybe
they do a lot with
filet mignon. Cap on there and it's, man.
Do you like filet mignon? This is what I was going to say a second ago. I got in this conversation off the air with the meat guy. Filet mignon, he said, is not the best steak. Yeah.
No, I know. Let me see if I know why he said that.
Sure.
Because it's too lean.
It's not just that it's too lean. He said the flavors don't exist the same as the ones that have all the fat and everything else and the bone-in stuff. Like there's so many different reasons why a filet mignon cut the way it's cut loses flavor. I disagree with him, and I can't tell him because he's the meat guy. So I just nodded my head and said, okay. But my grandfather raised us to just eat filet mignon. That's the only thing he had in the house when he had steak. I know, very fancy, my grandfather. So that was the rule, and I've grown up with that. I had a really fancy, I don't want to name the restaurant because I'm not necessarily saying complimentary things about it. I had a really fancy steak dinner around here recently, and it wasn't filet mignon, even though it was on the menu. And even though it was good, it definitely wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as what I'd had before when I got the cut I prefer because of Grandpa. And so I've heard, and that's why they wrap the bacon around it too, is to add more flavor to the filet mignon. But I don't know. I like it just the way it is, man.
I love a good filet mignon. I'm not going to lie.
By itself.
I like a beef tenderloin, but I think my favorite steak is a porterhouse.
Yep. That's what everybody says.
because a porterhouse, you get both. You get a nice big piece of tenderloin sitting on the bone, not a
Yeah.
T-bone. T-bone, you don't get as much tenderloin.
Right.
You got to get a porterhouse. And then you get the strip steak side. And then you get the bone. And when I was a kid, we would my mom would make a couple porterhouses, and then we would battle over the bones, my brothers and I, like rabid dogs. We just, honest to God, we'd gnaw on the bones and get every last piece of meat. Those bones look cleaner than if you had given them to a dog. There was grease. The grease looked like the Joker's smile. It was crazy. We were eating those bones.
I was raised so like I don't even eat all of the chicken when I have bone-in chicken. I leave some of the chicken around it, and my wife says that I'm a giant baby for not doing that. But I don't know. I just don't get
right
that close
down to the
bone. No,
oh, man, I do.
No, man.
If I'm eating like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something, I'm scraping the crust off. I'm going.
No, I'm not even close.
Looks like a horrible murder scene on my plate.
It's good to know. It is.
If I left them out in the sun for a day, it'd be bleached. It'd be like if you came across one of those cattle skulls in the desert. That's how I like my plate. So
that sounds festive.
I've been with you when you had a fillet.
Okay.
And again,
you did.
I like a fillet. Every once in
you can eat all of it. There's no pieces that get left on the plate. You eat the entire thing. That's great.
Yeah, if somebody says you're getting a 16-ounce fillet, it's all fillet.
Right.
If I buy a bone-in ribeye, I got to watch because I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of bone and not,
Plus, I cut away some of the fat. I don't eat the pieces of fat when I get a different steak. I leave some of it off. I know. I'm terrible.
As my grandfather used to call it, the gristle. I don't eat the gristle.
No, I don't like that. My grandfather said no.
Yeah, I cut that off. But I was going to make a beef tenderloin, which is just a really long fillet for Christmas, but now we're going to my brother's. So
all right, well, you should bring one with. I hear people do that.
He usually serves good beef. So
the brother who threw the Noonan Fest party?
No, this is another brother.
Okay.
That brother moved. He left the state. He's now selling weed.
Noonan Fest is over now.
Noonan Fest is over. That house is gone.
All right, that's sad.
He opened a dispensary in Michigan. So now he's a weed baron.
So now you're going to have Noonan Fest there at the dispensary.
Yes, we're all going to get high. Southland Farms.
Different party,
Southland Farms, craft, know what you're smoking, craft
There
bud,
we go. Nice plug.
Craft weed revolution.
They should be a sponsor of this show. What are they doing?
They should be. I don't know. He's on, they're on all the social medias. Because you know what? Because I'm an L7. I didn't get into the weed till a year or so ago. So, and I'm still not really into the weed, as the kids like to say.
Yeah, I can tell by the way that you talk about it. I can immediately tell.
I'm with weed like Molly used to be with Halloween candy and Easter candy. I want it, and then it sits in the house for a year.
Yeah. That's the way I was in college, to be honest. I didn't really smoke a lot of weed, and all my friends did, and they knew it, so they would just give me weed sometimes because they knew it would just stay, and it would just be in my dorm room, for which probably was a big risk I shouldn't have been taking, for several weeks, and then someone would come and take it, and it would just be gone, and I would just never use it. It would just sit there. I'm not a huge weed guy, man. Without Cody, we don't have a lot to talk about on that.
I have edibles in my fridge that we got in Colorado last August. I have a cookie, an edible cookie from Southland Farms.
Nice.
Craft Weed Revolution. And the more I talk about it, maybe I will get them to sponsor us. But I have a cookie that's been in there since the middle of October.
By the way, just real quick, if Cody is not on the show while he's taking his little vacation, you get a weed sponsor for the program. He will be so happy when he gets back to the show. He will be so happy.
I actually have a weed and gaming conglomerate that wants to buy in and take over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go.
So weed and video games.
And WWE, I imagine. Somehow
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, the spokesman for them, ironically enough, John Cena. So that's
okay. Good. Good to know.
He's selling weed and video games. Are you done with your shopping? Have you gotten all your shopping?
We did most of the remaining shopping today because actually we changed our plans. We weren't going to travel for Christmas, and then that seemed like too much of a bah humbug. So now that we have to do a little extra emergency shopping, and so I have almost everything done now today. What about you?
Did you go out and shop?
Yes. Oh, it was terrible.
Going out
today was horrible.
No, it was on the news last night. They were calling, I forget, there was a term for yesterday, the Saturday before, the last full day before Hanukkah started and a week before Christmas, and everybody was going nuts.
Yeah, it was not. It was nuts. I felt like it was a Black Friday sale, but like nothing was on sale. Everything was very expensive at this point, so we all missed out on the sweet, sweet sales.
You couldn't have paid me enough to go to a mall shopping this weekend.
Yeah.
Or this year, I did not set foot in a store.
Sorry,
malls, brick and mortar retailers.
The mall's a weird thing, though, man. We didn't go there. I would normally go there to do most of my shopping. We just went to stores. We just went to, I don't want to say which ones, but we went to specific like clothing stores and other things, and we just didn't do the mall. We barely ever go to the mall. In Mexico, we go all the time. It's still a thing there. It feels like it doesn't matter as much here to do that. You know what I mean? That's sad.
Because a lot of the stores, like the stores that used to be quote unquote anchor stores, kind of moved away from the mall.
Right.
So now they're just sitting out in their own parking lot somewhere.
Well, no offense to like the big stores that are still in those malls, like the JCPenney's of the world, but they're kind of pricey at this point in time. They're not terribly good deals, any of the things you'd buy in those places.
No, that's why you gotta, but that's what Debbie and I were talking about this today. I said, man, I didn't go into any store. Now I bought from traditional departments. I didn't it's not like I bought everything on Amazon. I bought from traditional retailers. I bought from some small businesses. I bought from independent places, but I didn't have to go to 8 different stores because the size of something that I needed was not at this store.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they have it at that store. So I'm driving, or they end up having to order it for me online anyway. So, everything came to the house.
Yeah.
That's
nice. Yeah. I didn't do that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I probably would do that if it was more my decision, but the missus likes to get stuff in her hands. She likes to be a physical shopper, and she makes most of the decisions on the gifts we get. She's the final vote.
The gifts you give to other people?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we go shop in person because that's Betty's preference. I probably would do it online if it was just me.
Yeah, we did go something for my mom that we were having created. We had to go to a place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look
I'll tell
at
you
that.
about it after. I'm pretty excited about it. We'll see if and Debbie and Molly are excited about it as well. So
by the way, I think I got your Christmas card in the mail recently.
I would imagine.
That was nice of you to send that.
Thank you. Yeah, we sent. That's why I asked for your address. What'd you think? I was sending a box of steaks to your house?
I kind of figured out what it was, but hey, I wouldn't have hated the steaks either. That would have been great. We don't do that. We don't send Christmas cards. We don't make them. We don't have them. I feel like we should because now we're getting more since we own a house. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You're a professional guy. So, at least, you suck up. You send a couple to, a couple to people at work.
Yeah, I know the people you're thinking I should thank.
Maybe, Craig. Oh, that's somebody's comment.
Yeah, that's a comment. Hey,
hold on. Yeah, but Craig is always attending out.
That's great. Thanks, Sean.
Maybe you said some to, you were on the Chad Benson show.
He deserves a gift.
Nationally, not a gift. You send him a card, nice card to him and his producer. That'd be lovely. Maybe, you're on Tony Katz's show on WIPC.
They deserve a gift.
Shoot the boss over there a nice Christmas card. They don't want gifts because that looks too desperate. That looks like you're
just a little thank you card. No gift card or anything in it.
Not even a thank you. Just a happy holidays.
Okay.
I used to send them when we worked with the Blackhawks. I would send them to the Blackhawks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I would always get the Blackhawks Christmas card.
That's nice.
Which was sweet.
Was it? It had a lot of stuff in it. Yeah, the little box. I remember the box.
Well, I'm just talking the card. The card itself, for it to come and you're like, look at this. I got a Christmas card for the Blackhawks. It was the coolest thing.
The box of stuff was cool when that the bobblehead and all the stuff that would come in. Yeah, that was awesome. Well, that was a good time.
That was because you were on a full-time show.
Well, that's even not really me. I mean, my name was on a box that got sent to me, but I don't think a lot of the people there, a couple of them knew who I was. Most of them knew who the people I worked with were.
Right.
They didn't. Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Take it anyway. Yeah. We hadn't sent out cards when Molly was a freshman in college. We went and we made them, like on Shutterfly, where we used a picture and then a couple things.
Yeah.
And sent them out. And then Debbie was like, that's a lot of money. We don't need to be sending out. And I'm like, all right. And over the years we've said, so this year she was like, I don't know if I don't want to send cards. And I said, you know what? We've got about, and I'm not exaggerating, 12 different boxes of cards
Wow.
upstairs from
Nice.
different years. Shoebox greeting cards. I'm sure yours was a shoebox. Maybe
I think it was, yeah.
There were some more traditional for people who maybe didn't have the sense of humor that the
Sure.
shoebox cards would go to. We had all these cards, and I said, and she's like,
Just
"All
do
right,
that.
well, we'll
Right.
send a couple to Ireland." I was like,
Nice.
"Okay," and then I come home and she has this big list out, and she's doing all these cards, and so we did cards this year.
Wow.
And the good news is we have so many left over, and there's a variety. So there's a really good chance you're not getting the same
Cool.
one next year.
Wonderful.
Good
I'm
chance you
excited.
might. I don't remember what one we sent you.
Is this
But,
the first time you've sent cards to Ireland?
Yes.
Because you got to go there, you got to meet people.
We
Very fancy.
hobnobbed. I feel now a closeness to everybody.
You were with
over
the
there.
other Noonans?
I was with everybody. I was
Wow.
with so they got cards, and I sent an email to the cousins on my mom's side, and I said, "Hey, give me your addresses," and they did. And then my cousin on my dad's side, who set up the big family meal, she sent Debbie all the addresses for everybody over there.
Nice.
And yeah, it's
I told you before that I was a bartender at Navy Pier in between semesters at college one time with a bunch of Irish dudes, right?
Right.
They were all a bunch of Irish dudes from Dublin.
Real good looking, right? Isn't that what you said?
I don't know. Some of them I
maybe that
probably
was
thought so.
somebody
It's not, but one of them told me that I could knock on the door of his home anytime for the rest of my life and say, "The Yank is here," and his mom would let me stay. He said, "I'll set it up when I get home. Just go knock on the door, be like, 'The Yank is here.' That's a code word. You're in." I haven't tried it. I'm sure he gave me his address too. I just don't remember where it is. It's somewhere in Dublin.
And you know what? Yeah. I would imagine that's 100% true.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I was wondering with how welcoming your family was, if that's just an Irish thing, and I can expect them to have told the truth.
Man.
This would be almost 10 years ago, at least 10 years ago now. And I don't keep in touch with them, so I'm not sure.
10 years, you need a refresher.
Okay. Got to send a quick Facebook message first.
People are friendly.
Mm-hmm.
People are very friendly over there.
Good.
We actually, since you and Betty were going to stay at home, correct?
Right.
For Christmas.
Yes.
You decided to go to your brother's house, which is nice. Would you ever go to a place like a vacation destination over Christmas and not be with family or anything? Would you
100%.
jet away?
100% I would. The problem with that is how active I become during the holiday time because of fill-in work, because it's just a thing that if you're going to be willing to be the fill-in guy for somebody else, that even though for my show here in Peoria, I could take some time off this time of year, and I don't because I don't want to do that. When I'm working other places, I don't want to tell my boss I can't show up from 3 to 6.
For your real job.
Right. But that's the hiccup right now is that I'm so willing to work some other shifts for other people that I can't really go on vacation this time. I would totally do it though, somewhere warm.
We'll take the work thing out because I get that, and it's the same. So you would go. You would just say, "Hey, family."
A beach somewhere." Actually, you know what I'd love to do? Convince Betty just once in our relationship, to go to Mexico, but not her hometown, like a beach place that has an ocean and water. Right? Yeah, that'd be great. I've been to Mexico 15 times now in my life, I think, something like that. And I haven't seen a beach there a single time. Not a single one.
Puerto Vallarta is very nice.
Yeah, I've heard great things every time I talk about going. Yeah.
Wow. Acapulco.
Yeah, I've heard it's lovely. I know it is. I'm going to Mexico early January.
Yeah.
Not going there.
Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe one time she will.
Once.
But have you brought it up?
Yeah. I bring it up.
Okay. I was like, well, no, I've kept it to myself. So
I
was just hoping she'd volunteer it.
The challenge is that it's very hard for her as someone from there to envision being in the country without her family. So then it becomes, well, would we invite family members? And then how many family members? And would we offer to cover And I'd be like, we can't, it's already over. We already can't do it. We had 400 or so, 300 people at our wedding. We can't do this. Yeah.
I was going to say, for her parents, maybe you get an Airbnb for everybody, but there's no Airbnbs for 400 people.
No, it just doesn't stop. Betty's like, well, this is my relative. And I'm like, how? And there's no actual blood relation, but it doesn't matter. That's her relative. That person's got to go.
Well, you know what? Maybe you've got to do another beach destination other than Mexico.
Yes.
May I suggest Puerto Rico?
Sure. I'm down.
Phenomenal.
I'm in.
Loved it.
I accept. I would like to go to Hawaii, actually, one time. Have you been?
Yes, once.
Okay.
And I would go back in
a heartbeat. Is it perfect? Is everything about it just perfect?
It was.
Right.
We stayed on Maui for the week that we were there, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, see, I want that.
It was.
I want to go to there.
The weather was the weather. We went in October. The weather was beautiful. The scenery, the people, everything. Yeah, everything.
Did you surf?
We tried. Molly and I took a surf lesson. This was when I was at my fattest. So fatty don't surf. Fatty don't pop up on the board. But I tried. Okay. There's a picture of me like kind of planking, trying to push up. No, I didn't pop. I never popped.
All right. Molly did they tell you to pop? Is that actually how they taught you to do it?
Yeah, they want you to jump up.
Just pop up. Yeah.
And so Molly, we have a picture of Molly on Molly was able to stand for a couple seconds. She was this was right after we moved back from California. So she was like in 4th grade. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time since I surfed. I'm pretty sure I know how to do it though.
You
surf? Sure I can still do it. Yeah, when I was in Jersey.
Wow.
As a kid, I used to surf. Yes.
Cowabunga, dude.
I can pop up. I used to be able to pop up. Why? It's been a little bit.
I'm too old to pop up. The only thing I'm popping is my knee, my discs. Everything else is popping. Pop a cold brew. I think
we still pop.
No, I want to go. Like, I'd go kayaking now. I would love to kayak out there. Maybe a sea kayak. Get tipped over by a whale.
Okay, that sounds lovely.
I'd wrestle that whale. But we snorkeled. We saw sea turtles up close. We saw shark. It was everything was gorgeous. But we did that in Puerto Rico too. We went to Puerto Rico. If you take a little plane or a boat from the island of Puerto Rico over to this Cuba Vera, is the small island off of it. It has one of the beaches that is always ranked in the top 10 beaches in the world.
Wow.
And it is. We stood in the water at this beach going, we're in heaven. This is, you look down, the water is crystal clear.
Okay.
Well, look, feet got sunburned in the water. That's how clear the water.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, that's
right. But I could see them burning.
That's
usually
amazing.
You go, I can't say. It's all golf carts on this island.
All right.
It was.
That sounds fun. That sounds great. Yeah, I should go. I want to go all the places.
So we've been talking about going somewhere on Christmas one year, but it's hard. It's hard because like my mom's here and
gotta bring
she's
her
85, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to,
gotta bring her. It's the rules.
Oh no,
that's what my wife says. Those are the rules.
No. I'll bring her back something nice. I'll, who's going to take care of the dogs if I bring my mom? No,
that's a great question. It's totally a good question. That makes sense.
But like, it's getting weird because we were all here. We were all together for Thanksgiving, but then Christmas, there's only 2 of us. One of my brothers whose house we're going to, and my mom. That's all that's here for Christmas. Everybody else, like another brother is going down to number 5s in Florida. I'm like, oh, that would have been the play. Go down there. Sit
do you actually refer to them by number a lot?
I do only when I'm broadcasting because they don't like when I say their names.
Gotcha. I was hoping that like had permeated real life.
No, unfortunately it hasn't.
That's too bad.
They told me a long time ago, don't say my name. Because one was involved in politics and one had business in Chicago and 2 just don't like me. So they were like, don't say our names.
That's a problem. Right. Yeah, I got you.
All right, number 2 and number 5.
Gotcha. You and Cody both share that. I out every name in my life. I'm not sure that I should, but I do. And I never ask permission. I have no idea if people are okay with it.
If people ask me not to, I don't.
You don't. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes it's after the fact.
Yeah. No, I've even named ex-girlfriends first and last. Oh yeah, I've done it.
Wow. Okay. I would name first names.
I've done it.
Not that any of them pay attention to where I am or who I am, but
yeah, I didn't do it I forget why I did that. I don't know, but I know I did it. Good talk.
Yeah, I've only had a few.
Name though. I think I'm okay.
Sure, why not? Okay. Jane Smith. You bagged a lot of hookers named Jane Smith. I know. Makes sense. You're gonna bring that up on one of your nationally syndicated fill-ins?
I did not intend to talk about that. Yeah, that's not gonna come up. It's not in my prep for tomorrow.
Speaking of nationally syndicated, let's throw this up here again and tell everybody Craig is going to be filling in nationally on the Chad Benson Show, heard nationally. That's what it means, all over the country. You can go to radioamerica.com, click the listen live button, and hear him from 9 to noon Eastern. He's doing it from Monday, the 19th of December through the 22nd, taking the 23rd off because why not?
Yep.
and Christmas. That's good. And then coming back
Right.
from the 27th to the 29th. However, when you are in Indianapolis doing the Tony Katz morning show, they don't give you the 23rd off or the 26th off. No,
I didn't ask.
You're working like a maniac.
Yeah.
The 19th of December through the 30th, and then starting your new year right on the 2nd of January.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool. I'm looking forward to all that, and I'm not talking about any hookers on any of those shows.
All right, but you are going to every day from 3 to 6. It's nonstop hooker conversation.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all we talk about. Yep.
Well, after doing all those other shows, one day you're just gonna have you're gonna blank and you're going, what am I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, hookers. That's what I talk about.
You know what's funny? My wife doesn't think my job is real sometimes. She knows it's real. She hears me on the radio and she's aware that that's a job.
Right.
But I imagine you've gotten it before too, where if you only work 3 hours, they kind of think that all those prep hours are not as real as we say they are. Right. Yeah. Well, I've worked places where they didn't want to count them. That's something that's definitely existed.
Oh, most places don't pay you for them, but they want you to do it.
They do. They need you to do it. You can't not do it. But what I think is interesting is when I'm on for 9 hours of actual radio, that's 9 broadcast hours per day. That's a real job. Then it's like, he's working very hard. I'm going to help him out now.
Now, if you only did 2 of those shows,
that's still 6
hours.
Right.
That's not a full day's work.
No, it's not.
Full day's work is 8 hours.
You're right.
Listen, I understand that completely. Mm-hmm. And I would wager anyone who thinks that, and this is not a slam at your lovely bride.
No.
Because like you said, I've had it, and I'm sure most people who hear anybody on the radio go, man, it's hard. You work 3 hours. I challenge anyone to talk, not just 3,
right?
Not just 6, but 9 hours. You have to talk over these next. I've done 6 at a stretch.
Yeah.
Never done, and 6 was intolerable. I can't believe you're doing 9.
I am glad that there's a break. There's no break in the 6. The 6 is a block just like you used to do in overnights. I actually was texting you about that the other day, and that's kind of the reason I was asking you is because you and I share a thing. You used to do it every weekend. I only do it every holiday season, but I do 6 hours straight for a couple weeks, and that's very challenging. Yes. I love that I get hours off. I love that there's a break because otherwise I don't think I would do this. If I had to do 3 straight hours,
9 hours in a row, that would be impossible.
No, I don't think I would. So yeah.
And it's, well, everybody's job is difficult. I don't know anybody whose job isn't difficult, but it's funny
no, continue. Sorry, go ahead.
No, listen, I was going to call out a couple people, but I want you to, I want everybody to be happy. Yeah, it's the last show before the holidays. We got to keep it up and up. But yes, so you're gonna be busy. That's why we tape the
show today.
Why we tape this
today. Thank you. Yes.
Oh no, it's my pleasure. Because you're working crazy starting early tomorrow morning. I'm working tomorrow night, so there's there's a lot going on.
What are your TMJ days?
Oh, my TMJ. Gee, thanks for asking, Craig. I'm doing
the
27th and 29th.
Nice.
From 6 p.m. Other than that, I've been working like a dog for a Trivia Hub, which is fantastic, hosting these events.
Can people do the Trivia Hub and request you? Is that something you've promoted on this podcast before?
I never have, but if you book a game with Trivia Hub, you can, of course, request me to be your host.
You should do that if Noonan's available. You might not.
If I had $1 for every person who, while I'm doing a game, goes, man, you have a really good voice. You should do radio.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. It's very nice.
Is that how you do it? Do you just respond with, oh, thank you so much? You don't go into the...
Every once in a while, I go, I've done radio before.
Yeah. I still do it occasionally. We still do it.
Still do it. Well, it's been quite the day.
It has.
It has. So when do you leave for Indy? For your not for the job, but for your you said that's where you're going for
to see family. We were debating whether or not it would be Friday night or Saturday morning. I'm assuming there's going to be more traffic Friday night than Saturday morning because the full weekend is the holiday. So I imagine more people, and we don't want to hit a crap ton of terrible Chicago traffic. We have to drive through to Chicago on the way to South Bend. So South Bend, Indiana.
Oh, you said South Bend. Not you're working in Indy. You're going to South Bend.
Right. Yeah. So for us, I think it might make more sense to just wake up. Plus, I'm going to be honest. I'll have worked early Friday morning. I don't necessarily want to drive, and I don't want to put it all on the missus. So I'd rather have a night of sleeping and then do the driving.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you don't get to your brother's tired
until around the time they expect us on Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That sounds
Maybe
nicer.
Stop somewhere, you have a little something, because now everything's open on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
That's weird. That is true. That is odd.
Our first Christmas married, so 30 years ago, Debbie's family was in Michigan, my family's here. We decide we're going to do both. So we drive up to Michigan for Christmas Eve and go to her aunt's, and the whole family's there. Then we go to midnight mass. Then we get up to come back to my family on Christmas Day, when nothing was open on Christmas. Not McDonald's, nothing.
Yeah,
we ended up at a gas station somewhere getting gas, and that's where we were able to get breakfast. Something, like some Hostess mini donuts and a cup of gas station coffee.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I don't know if I experience everything being open Christmas Day. I should take that back. Like Christmas Eve, a lot of crap is open, but we still do.
You're going to be able to get a lot of stuff too.
We still do like the Chinese restaurant move sometimes, because those were the only things open sometimes on Christmas Day. Was you got to find a Chinese restaurant. They don't give a crap, so someone there will be there to serve you food, and they won't even really acknowledge it's Christmas unless you ask them to.
Well, it's the old trope about New York and Jewish people on Christmas, taking over all the Chinese restaurants, because that's the night everybody, the Christians are at home. I don't know why I put Christians in quotation marks.
I don't know, that felt weird.
People who celebrate Christmas are usually at home, and unless Hanukkah and Christmas coincide, everybody else is like, well, let's go out, and what's open? Oh, we'll get some Chinese, a little dim sum. We used to do that for Christmas Eve. We would do Chinese back in the day.
Yeah. I'm sure people will cook now that we're going to be with family, but I like the Chinese restaurant move. It just seems easier. It seems nicer.
There's something about like Christmas Eve. We would back in the day, we would go out. My aunt would take the whole family out after mass, and then she passed away, and it was like, okay, do we want to keep doing that? And we did it once or twice. But then one of my sisters-in-law was very wise and said, we're all going to see each other tomorrow, and we all got to get together tomorrow. And this is when number 2 was living in town and doing all the cooking for Christmas. And she was like, how about we all just do our own thing on Christmas Eve? And we were like, yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Sounds
great.
It
was great. So that was when we were living out in Frankfurt. And so Debbie, Molly, and I would order Chinese, and we'd sit around, and it was great.
It
and
is.
And while we were in California, of course, we were all by ourselves, and it was great.
Yeah. By the way, to answer Sally's question, Sally put a question up. How is Betty? She's great. Does she still throw shoes? Absolutely. The day will come that I won't do things that are shoe throw deserving. That day is not today. So I still get the occasional shoe.
How did the shoe begin?
It's just a thing. Her mom is an expert.
Back in the day?
Yeah, I think it's just a thing in their culture. Like if you do something wrong at times, Ma will pick up a shoe and wing it at you. And so it's just a thing. Although Betty is very nice, she doesn't choose shoes that hurt very much, but the occasional shoe gets lobbed in your direction. And it's more of a lob with Betty. It's not, although I know she has the precision to win an Olympic like competition with her shoe throwing. She just doesn't do it that often. I have to make her very mad. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We spent a
lot of time on Christmas. Yeah.
A lot of day in Wisconsin today.
Oh,
big Wisconsin day for us.
Okay. Why?
Well, here's the reason, because you have to get spreadable cheese in Wisconsin, according to Debbie. There's spread. Yes.
Follow-up questions, if you don't mind, throughout this.
Of course. Yeah.
Doesn't Wisconsin send spreadable cheese to the Chicago area? Aren't there places that may be selling?
Of course, but
all right.
To go on a pilgrimage to the Mars Cheese Castle and pick out a variety of flavors of spreadable cheese and beef snack sticks,
of course,
for your Christmas holiday dining is, here's the thing. I think Debbie just really wanted to get out of the house for a little bit, which is fine. And we had done this a few years ago before the pandemic. We had gone up to some big drive-through light thing in Wisconsin. And a couple of weeks ago, we were at a wedding in Wisconsin. We drove right past the Mars Cheese Castle. And she said, "Oh, remember when we came up here and we tried all those different spread cheeses and we had fun?" And I was like, "Yes." She goes, "We should do that again." So I was like, "Okay." Because now that we're living on the north side, it's only like 45 minutes.
There you go.
It's not, it is like the line from Stripes. You zip in, you zip out. That's how I feel about Wisconsin now.
Uh-huh.
So I said, all right.
You said you bought beef sticks. Do you buy beef and cheese sticks where they're mixed together, or no? Is that okay? That's an abomination.
No. I don't know. I didn't say if it was an abomination.
All right.
It's not for us.
That's like the peanut butter and jelly in one jar. You would never do that.
No, I would never.
Okay. All right, good.
I also did not buy the spreadable cheese that was green and gold, which looked. I looked at it and I'm like, I get the target audience.
Yeah.
But it looks like this cheese has gone over.
Right.
This cheese has been out.
I don't even know how you could tell when it does go over, because at some point it will. Yeah, right.
My only guess is that Packers fans shovel it into their mouths like they're freed hostages. That's all I can. That's the only thing I can figure. Because if not, if you or I or any other common sense individual looked at this cheese, it would make you vomit. It was really gross looking. It was horrific.
Well, luckily, both the Bears and the Packers are terrible this year, so at least it's probably not selling well at all.
No, and here's the other thing. This was the weird thing. They have all this stuff out so people can just sample it.
Oh, yeah.
So people are just, taking the knife and slathering it on a cracker. And I'm like, there's no safety precautions here. None. There was cheese everywhere. There was one place there weren't even toothpicks. And I'm like, I guess I'm just supposed to pick this up. I don't know if other people have picked it up, but let's go. So I picked my nose. I grabbed some cheese. There we went. And then another table, there were some toothpicks. And all right, here, let me ask you an etiquette question on this.
Right.
So you're at a table and it's got 4 different cheeses on it.
Okay.
And I pick up a toothpick. I pick the toothpick up in the middle.
Yeah.
I poke with one end, pop it in. Then I flip the toothpick and I use the other clean end to go second cheese.
Uh-huh.
Am I right or wrong?
A couple things I have in reaction to that. The first one, and I'm just going to admit this at this point in the conversation, I'm not a big cheese guy. I'm not a lover of cheese. I'm not a big fan.
Let's say what do you like?
No, but it's fine. I can answer the question as if I were one.
So let's say there's two different kinds of steak there, and you want to try them both.
That's fine. Okay, fine. If you need to do that for me. I do think you've contaminated the toothpick at bite number 1. And so flipping said toothpick seems like you don't need to do it. The other question I have for you, the second part, is why are you so financially aware that you need to spare toothpicks? Why is it that that's the moment?
It's environmental, Craig.
All right, gotcha.
I'm trying to save the rainforest.
Yeah.
I'm all about the planet.
Yeah. You sound like the guy that might fold the toilet paper. That's all I'm saying.
What does that mean?
That, if I don't want to say this. I knew people that thought it was financially valuable to use the toilet paper and then fold away the dirty points and then use it again to reuse the paper.
Oh, yeah, I do that.
Okay. A lot of times.
What are you just a one swipe Johnny?
I take the right amount of paper so that you do the one, and then yes, this is what I do. I don't overload in the first part of the process, so I don't need to try to fold it away in the second part.
Huh. All right. And you've gauged the correct amount.
I can't believe this is a conversation. Yes. Yeah,
well, of course. You brought it up. I gotta follow up on it.
Well, I thought it was a thing, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the weird guy, and I need to know. The comment section needs to tell us now what they do. If they take a bunch and fold, or if they only do a one and done. You don't take that many sheets to do a one and done. And
no,
so
that's because you were in prison, so you only have a certain amount. You only get like one roll a month.
I never have an accident where I regret it.
Figure goes right through?
Yeah, no, it's never happened.
Is it 2-ply? What do you got over there? What are you running at the college house? A nice Charmin?
In the guest bathroom, we have a nice softer thing. In the upstairs, the master bathroom, it is the cheap stuff. So it's the very, very cheap stuff.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like the reverse of the story of Jesus turning water into wine. Where the people throwing the party had the good wine and then they gave the guests the crummy wine. Yeah.
Well, I don't really care. To me, I don't care. To me, it's never really mattered for me to have the super ultra soft situation.
I don't like the ultra soft.
Yeah, I almost don't like it. Yeah, exactly.
I want some grit. I want some.
Right.
That's why I use 10 grain sandpaper.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
then
I
you fold
it.
that.
And I fold it.
Oh man. I'm
And then
so
I
glad
do
I've never had to go to the bathroom in your house.
Yeah, because then I
Yeah.
do some craft work on the seat to smooth off the edges.
There you go.
No, growing up, because there were 5 of us, and then my mom and dad, we went through a lot. And so it was always the cheap brand, the Scott's,
Yes.
the 1,000 sheet rolls.
Right.
Like that's one step above industrial toilet paper that you find like in a gas station or a library.
We just bought that at Sam's Club today. We just purchased that literally today. Yes, for the upstairs. That's the master. Betty uses the guest bathroom when there's no guests here. So it's really just me.
So it's just the second bathroom.
Right. And so then I don't know how many months, it takes a while for me to go through it on my own. Every so ever many months, we buy a giant one from Sam's again and just leave most of the rolls in the basement.
They're like the 9 or the 5 or 6 packs with the 9 giant rolls per pack.
Yes. Yeah. And that's all Scott. That's all like the 1,000, whatever it is.
It's a little better than Scott's. It's a little thicker.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not. That's all I got up there.
It is. It's a little thicker. You're the Kirkland brand you're talking, or the Sam's members.
No.
Members Mark.
No, they actually sell Scott's.
Oh, I go Members Mark. The Members Mark is a smidge.
Gotcha.
A little higher end. So I've seen.
No, I don't need that. I have no need.
I've tried that real soft stuff. It's not for me.
I'm not a fan either.
No,
yeah, right.
Nothing. I don't need to pamper that area. I need to. let's.
This was not on the rundown.
We got a job to do. Well, I don't know how we ended up there, but I'm going to be there. I'm not going to be in there for a while because we bought so much cheese.
That's fine. Well, and honestly, I don't see any comments from the comment section. I'd like people to tell us which one of us is normal. I want to know now.
Listen, let's be honest. There's not one normal person on this.
Nobody. Okay, gotcha. Good.
But so this is how, listen, when you're married, you said you went shopping with your lovely wife. You had a good time. 30 years. We drive up, we go to the Cheese Castle.
Nice.
Then we have lunch at the Brat Stop.
Nice.
And I made an ordering error. I didn't read completely. And I ordered the Brat Father sandwich, which I thought it said just like a filleted bratwurst. I thought it was like a bratwurst patty on a hamburger bun. I was like, oh, this could be good. It comes with grilled onions. It was a butterflied bratwurst on top of a hamburger with grilled onions smothered in cheese.
That sounds awesome. You didn't like that?
It was good, but I was like crazy stuffed, like uncomfortably full. And I was like, oh, I didn't even, I was like, oh, I can't even finish my beer. And that's not a good sign.
Yeah, no, that's
when
bad.
I can't finish my beer.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, only in Wisconsin can a man order a burger topped with a bratwurst smothered in cheese.
Sure.
And then brought to you by an actual cow.
Yes.
It was
It sounds amazing.
Sure. And then we wrap up the big journey at the dollar store.
Okay.
Do you go to the dollar store ever?
We absolutely still go to the dollar store. Betty loves the dollar store.
I have nothing against the dollar store.
Okay.
I use the dollar store for specific things. Like gift bags, tissue paper.
Sure.
That kind of stuff. I'm always a little sad when I see people grocery shopping at the dollar store.
Sure, I understand. Yeah, that although I have bought the occasional food product from a dollar store, I'm not gonna lie about that. If you're in the store and you look at the food items, you're like, oh, that looks okay. I've made that purchase.
Junior Mints Peppermint Crunch count as a food item?
No, I wouldn't call anything in the candy aisle food.
All right. Well, then I didn't buy food.
Yeah.
I bought some.
No, I've purchased. I've purchased I've bought. That's why I go to the dollar store. I don't speak good English. No, but I've purchased like the little frozen chicken sandwiches before. They're not terrible. I eat those, on occasion. I don't go on purpose, but if I'm there, I'll get one.
I've bought back when I was single and stuff. I would buy kitchen utensils there every once in a while.
Sure.
Now, you get what you pay for. Let's be honest.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You're not buying you're not buying Calphalon pans if you buy something at the dollar store.
No.
But we went in there, man. It was insane today, and everybody was doing about the same thing. Yes, everybody was doing the same thing. Gift bags, tissue paper, little stocking tchotchkes. Everybody was leaving with the exact same thing. It looked like a bomb had hit the Christmas area, and then Debbie was looking for something, and I saw a box of Junior Mints, which I love, but these were the Peppermint Candy Crunch.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, they had one box. I looked all over that dollar store for a second box. No, I was so now I'm like, well, I have to go to a different dollar store.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I'm not going to drive. I hate leaving the house anyway. I'm not going to drive to $1 million stores just so once a year I can get a Junior Mint peppermint candy crunch box of candy for $1.25.
You do this though. We've talked about this before. You go to the same store at multiple locations on a lot of different shit. Like this is something that happens to Noonan consistently. I don't know why it happens to you a lot, but it does. And you never give up.
That's why. You're right. You know why? I have stick-to-itiveness, Craig. A lot of people don't. A lot of people just throw in the towel. Not me.
No.
I stick. Right. That's what I do.
You'll go to multiple of the same fast food like the fast food company in order to get the correct products if one is out of something.
That's right. That's what I do.
Yeah.
If something, if I know I can get this at, if let's say Sam's, if I was at one Sam's and I know they were supposed to have something, or they had it last week and they don't have it now, I'll go to a couple other Sam's.
I'm totally the opposite, by the way. And one of my best examples of that is the snowman cookie at the Starbucks. Have you had the snowman cookie at the Starbucks? I think it's delicious.
I've seen it.
Okay.
On the
one
board.
with the scarf and stuff.
Yeah, they're good.
I think it's the best cookie they make. I don't know why they make it more times. I think I don't know what about it just seems better than other cookies, because I know they make the same cookie, just not in snowman form at other times. But if I go to a Starbucks and they say they're out, I give up. And Starbucks is a very easy store to not give up. There's usually another one 4 blocks away. But no, I'm a one and done with the snowman cookie guy.
Really?
Yes.
Now, see, if I had a taste for that cookie, I'd probably stop at a couple.
I know you would. You'd go to as many as necessary.
Why don't you buy one out when you go there? If you find one with a bunch,
I should do that. That's a great idea. Right.
Just drop $100 on snowman cookies, and then go home and explain that to your lovely bride. Something's weird in the checking account. It says there's $275 at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yes. But look, you hold up a big briefcase of cookies.
Yeah.
This is going to help us all the way to South Bend. Now, if you bought them all, would you at least take one cookie per person to your brother's house? Or
I can't confirm that. I can't tell you that I do that. You would think I would do it, and I would think I would do it. But in the moment where we were packing, there's a chance I might not do that.
Well, you need dessert with your steaks when you come home that you're not going to share either. So
I would take 2 snowman cookies and bring those with. And that would be it. 2 steaks, 2 cookies.
Daddy, why is Uncle Craig so selfish? Welcome to his life.
Bring one extra for somebody. I bring one for me and one for someone else. They'd assume it's Betty, but I don't know. It could be anybody.
Will you then have some sort of death match to win the cookie?
Not me. I've reserved one for me. If they want to have a death match,
you sponsor said death match?
Sure, I would be okay with that.
It's the Hunger Games, literally.
Right. Yeah. Whatever.
Are
they
you
need
hungry?
To do.
Well, I have steak and cookies. What you gonna do for?
I have 1 steak and 1 cookie. So really, you guys figure this out.
And I will cook the second one since I'm already cooking mine.
I like the weirdness of that I would bring 1 extra, not enough to feed everybody, but not just for me. I bring an additional item for someone. So I'm not that selfish to eat alone. One person gets the joy that I get.
Someone gets the benefit of dining with you.
Right. It's not the entirety of the group of people I'm with, but one additional person chosen by them. I don't even pick who it is.
Yes. That's the lovely thing.
Right. That's the spirit of Christmas.
You're not telling them, no, my favorite person is X.
Right.
So you guys figure it out.
I am sharing, like by definition, I am sharing.
Sure, yes. You are sharing. Yes.
Right.
So for all those people who said you didn't share, and
I did.
I got rid of a lot of those comments.
Yeah.
That's not
Thank
true.
you for that. Yeah.
That'd be something.
That would be. I
that's
wish
a viral video.
I wish that's a thing that I actually did. Always brought 1 extra wherever I went, but not enough for everyone. That's very cool. I might start doing that.
Very on brand.
Right, yeah, it's true.
Who gets to dine with Craig today?
I sit at my own table.
Yes, but then it gets to a point you've done it so long that nobody's like, you can do it. Like, nah. But he brought filet and they're big. Yep. Nah,
you know what? I wouldn't be sad about that. If I'd eat 2 filet mignons, that's fine. I brought one for someone else. If no one else wants it, I will make sure to handle it.
Who would be sad about eating 2 fillets?
No one. I think that's the answer. Yeah, they can't.
Absolutely.
I'm bulletproof in this situation. You can't get me. If you say no, I'm still happy. I don't have so many that I can't eat them all. I have one additional one.
You win. You're right. That's absolutely correct.
Oh, this is fun.
All right. I know you've been watching the World Cup.
I have,
You've been very, very excited.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but I have been watching.
But you've been watching.
Right.
You haven't. The last game was Sunday morning,
today.
right?
No,
today.
It was today. It was, well, right. I guess it is Sunday morning, right? Correct. So
for here in the U.S. Yeah.
Yes. So it happened at 9:00 Sunday morning. My wife and I watched it in bed, which was kind of cool. It made for a very long Sunday because it went into overtime and then it went into penalty kicks. So it was a several-hour-long sporting event. But I did want to play some audio. This is Andres Cantor. He's been going viral a lot during this World Cup or other World Cups.
Now, for those who don't know, it was France and Argentina, correct?
France and Argentina played in the final game today. Andres Cantor is famous because, one, he's a Spanish language broadcaster that covers a lot of soccer. And two, he has a unique goal call that I guess I can play a little bit of that too from today's game. Because, and here's what I love about Andres Cantor, you think he's done and he's not done calling a goal. But you assume he's done. Here, let's try this.
María para tirar el centro. Pelota para Leo. Messi al arco.
It's not done. We're not done. Yeah! This is real. I did not edit this audio. Yes, that's what he does a lot. He'll do multiple goal takes. Sometimes he'll have the goal hang on longer. I think he was just very excited since he's from Argentina, watching them play in the World Cup and watching Lionel Messi score that first goal. I think he was just overly excited. I can prove that though, because when it went into a shootout at the end, I think it was the 4th penalty kick for Argentina. It was not Messi, although he made his, and a lot of people were celebrating him today. But they had officially won the World Cup at that point. And Andres Cantor, well, he lost it. That is the right way to say this.
Va Montiel. Montiel.
Oh, he's so excited. He's crying. He's crying. That's going to go on for another minute and a half.
Oh,
he's weeping and just screaming, Argentina champions of the world, just again and again and again. He was overcome with emotion. That's gone viral. Millions of people all over social media are sharing that. There's actually a video of him. You can see his face as he's making this call. It's great.
That in a world where people are afraid to show emotion, the unbridled joy. Now, I don't speak Spanish. I understood Messi, Argentina, and goal. And yet I would have listened to that for an hour and a half.
I could play so much more of it. Campeón del Mundo is champions of the world.
Argentina!
He's crying. He's fully crying.
Of course he is.
That man is weeping. I've only actually seen that one other time in the world of sports. I was working at WGN Radio when they no longer had the rights to the Cubs, but they broadcast during the World Series the Cubs won. And the 3 individuals I was working with that day when the Cubs officially had won the World Series wept in studio instead of broadcasting for a few minutes. I was dragging in PSAs and stuff because they were all just weeping before.
Who are these crybabies?
I don't want to say. I don't want to. They know who they are. You know all of them. You definitely know all 3 of the names.
Were they real tears or were they tears that they thought they should cry to be?
No, they were fully like, I'm not a Cubs fan, as people can tell. So I was not weeping. I was just waiting for the show to get going. They were all crying, fully gone.
I didn't cry when the Sox won the World Series.
No?
No.
Okay. I've never cried at a Yankee World Series, but as a child, I got used to them. I thought
I was going to say,
you
got used to them. There's times maybe during the celebrations.
Sure.
There's a couple times where you get a little emotional because you see these other, the players crying, and you're like, that's nice that you're crying, but you have no allegiance to this city. You'll be gone next year. We all know that. So see ya.
You want a little more, by the way, because it's not done.
Of course, please.
Lo hizo Cuchufo, lo hizo el Tata, lo hizo Luque, lo hicieron ustedes, jugadores, que se ganaron el cielo. Argentina, campeón del mundo.
He just said that they came from the sky to win the cup. So that's nice. That's incredible.
That is beautiful.
It is. It really, truly is. Yeah.
And Messi in his last season finally gets his World Cup. Everybody was like, "Oh, Messi can't get it done. He can't."
Right. They seem to think he's one of the best soccer players ever.
Ever. But he had never won. He didn't have the ring.
Right. He didn't have this basketball. One. I don't know a lot about soccer. I don't know that. Although this game was.
Well, you don't know that it's called football.
I do know that. I genuinely, this game was entertaining, though. I would say that they had I think 3 goals each before they got to the shootout part of the game.
Oh wow!
Or maybe
that's
actually
a lot of goals.
Yeah, maybe it was 2 goals each, and then each scored a goal in overtime to get us to the shootout. But that was entertaining, more so than soccer usually is, because there were a lot more points than soccer usually sees. Yeah,
that's very exciting. Yeah. And which one of the goalkeepers won an award? Was that the Argentinian goalkeeper?
That's called the Gold Glove. And yes, the Argentinian goalkeeper won that because he had 2 saves in the shootout round. That was the difference.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Well, I happened to see some photos of the award ceremony, and he took the Golden Glove trophy and he put his glove on it, so it looked like an arm.
All right.
And then he extended it from his pelvic region as a shocked Qatarian official in full Qatari gear looked on in horror as this guy, in another moment of pure joy.
Yeah.
I think if he was screaming, it would have sounded like Andres Cantor, because he had this giant golden phallus with his soccer glove on it protruding from his nether region, and he loved it. Now the guy from Qatar, didn't care for it much.
Fair enough. That's interesting, man. But, I don't know.
Listen, you got to celebrate. You win the World Cup, that's a big deal.
Here's an odd thing. I just want to throw it out there, and I hate that I'm doing this to you. My mother said that the live stream ended. She texts during everything I do. I think it might just been on my show. I don't think it's off on yours. Although actually I don't see it on yours now either. Are we still live? Are we still broadcasting this on Facebook?
Yeah, it still says we're live.
I hope we weren't taken down because I was playing Andres Cantor audio.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I wonder if that's the case. I'm refreshing now.
Yeah, because I don't see it on your Facebook page. We might be on YouTube still. I imagine we're still definitely on the YouTube.
No, it says it was live.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see us.
I'm up there on the Facebook page. It says was live, but I haven't ended the stream yet.
I know, because I see it still says live in the corner of our show for anyone still watching us. But my mother, who was apparently watching on Facebook, said it's over. I wonder if we're still on the Facebook or on the YouTube. I mean,
on YouTube. I don't know. Let me see. Unable to connect to Facebook. That's what. So I think Facebook had a thing, because we are streaming live on YouTube. We're going to keep going, because we'll put. If you got kicked off, you're just going to have to listen to the audio as God intended. That's the way we're doing it. So I think it's a Facebook issue. Maybe. I wonder if it is because you play that. We got to be careful,
Yeah, we do. We
playing
do.
audio on this. I love all the audio you play on not only your MBD show, which people can hear every day from 3 to 6.
Yes.
At WMBD, but I'm sure you're going to have a lot of audio when you're filling in nationally, and I'd love to say nationally, because that means all over the country, on the Chad Benson Show at 9 to noon Eastern. Listen live at radioamerica.com. This week, the 19th through the 22nd, then the 27th through the 29th. So you'll play audio there. You'll play audio, I'm guessing, in Indianapolis. Do they like the audio in Indianapolis?
Yes, they do.
When you're on for Tony Katz, you'll be there doing mornings in Indianapolis on WIBC from 6 to 9. People go to WIBC.com. You're doing that 2 weeks, and then the first day of the new year.
Oh, fun.
I want to talk to you on the 3rd.
All right.
Talking like that.
Actually, not that it needs to be promoted here, but the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I will be doing both the mornings and afternoons at WMBD.
Holy cow.
Yes. And then I will be going on vacation on the 6th into Mexico immediately.
Nobody else in the country want to fill in? Are you the only guy?
Good for
you. You're the only man willing to work. That's what's nice.
They asked me to do mornings and afternoons for those 3 days in early January.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I'm just
Why
going to do
not?
the Andres Cantor audio the whole time. Campeón del Mundo is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And then wait.
You know what? You should have Andres. You should pay Andres Cantor to do a
That's
promo
true.
for your show and have it go like 6 minutes.
It sounds amazing. Yeah. That sounds great. I will do that. I don't know if I can afford him, but I'll try.
That's true, but it'll save your voice because Andres will do most of the yelling.
Yeah.
And you do that coming back 6 minutes coming back from every break. And people go, what's going on?
Yeah.
You go, well, I only really like to plan for one show.
Honestly.
So if I plan the morning show today, you get Andres in the afternoon, and tomorrow vice versa.
By the way, my mother is still letting us know what's going on as far as both of the shows are concerned. Yes. If you want to know, Noonan, she said she heard the soccer audio, so she doesn't think that was the issue with Facebook.
All right, good.
But Facebook is no longer broadcasting it now. She's with us on YouTube. Hi, Mom. So YouTube is working along with Nick. Nick said that we're still on YouTube, so thank you to both.
Yeah, thank you to both. And you can comment. We see YouTube comments come through here, so you can comment on YouTube.
Yep.
And we see them as well. But thank you for the updates. It's very nice. I always like that your mom listens. And
everything.
And
everything
I know she supports you. That's very nice.
She does. Yes.
I don't think my mom has heard one show I've ever done.
All right, I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that.
You don't. You just you know how you fix it? Therapy and antidepressants. That's how you fix it.
Yeah.
And then you just go, oh, whatever. No, there was one time back when I was at the other place, and she went, all my friends listen to you all the time, and they tell me how good you are. I'm like, oh, I don't listen. Okay.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
But to be honest, I don't think Debbie and Molly listen. So
my wife also listens to my radio show.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Wow. The one here locally. She doesn't listen to the other stuff. But nice. She listened in Bloomington and here when I'm on the radio locally.
Man, that's lovely.
It is. It's very nice.
No, it is. I mean it. I
do too. It's
I
great.
figure my family is just sick of hearing me talk, and
probably
if I'm not in the house and I'm at work, they don't have to listen to me when I'm at work.
Right.
They have to listen to me when I'm at home. But when I'm at work, no, thank you.
Well, and to be fair, and this is the way I'll say it, that's hopefully the best way possible to say it for all involved. It's very, very hard to be on a drive. Although actually you did a bunch of drive times in Chicago.
Sure I did.
Because I would say that if you're not driving just like my wife didn't get in her car and drive to hear my radio show, and she didn't stream it. She just drives home and turns on
and
my
it's on. Yeah, sure. No, that makes sense.
Stuff. But you did a bunch of drive time fill-in shifts.
Yeah.
And
I think Debbie listened when I was like in the afternoons.
That's all. I don't think that Betty's truly trying. Like my mom actually live streams everything I do, incling this.
She is unique. She is. Yeah, she is all over it. That's fantastic.
Right.
No, Debbie. I used to make Debbie. I used to make Debbie and Molly listen when I was first doing overnights because the engineer would burn me CDs.
Nice.
And so I would listen back the next day because the overnight show was such a carnival. It was it was just fun. And
there's so many people that are naturally up and listening. It would be hard to ask your family members if they weren't like doing a late night shift of their own. So I get that. I totally understand.
No, during that show, there's absolutely no reason for
it would be. I don't even think my mother would listen. If I did like a 2 to 5 a.m. thing, I think she would skip that. That would be tough.
Get out her old cassette recorder, plug it into her Philco radio, and she'd record it.
Right. And that's not to say that those time slots don't matter. There's a crap ton of people who love those. And actually, what's really cool about that place you used to be at, because I was listening the other day as I was driving around, is late at night, it's true how many places it goes. Like how far that signal gets. It's amazing.
Broadcasting to 48 states.
Right. And parts of Canada. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's one of the coolest things. It's actually probably more valuable from that sense, even though it's very hard to track the ratings of all that, to be on that station at that time of night.
We would, you remember, you'd get calls from all over the country.
Right. Yeah.
There were people that were listening everywhere.
It was amazing. Yeah.
They were like, oh, somebody's on live who actually will talk to us. This will
My mother just texted she would not stay up to listen to me if I was on at that time. Thanks, Ma.
Does that hurt your feelings?
No, it's fine.
Is this going to ruin Christmas?
It's not. I won't bring it up. I won't say anything about
please
it.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Just go well. I'm doing some overnights, but I know you. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. No, my favorite thing she does actually when I do the big like triple show things is she'll text me when it's the same topic. I'll be like, I know it is. I know. I'm doing it again. I'm aware. I know. It's like,
have you explained to your mom that most people don't listen habitually for 9 hours?
To all three different
different shows?
I have, but I should program for mom a little bit sometimes and do some new stuff with the old stuff.
Does she want a lot of Jersey-centric stories?
I should. As many Jersey things as possible would be great. And Bruce Springsteen related.
Bruce Springsteen and Bulletproof Cells. You have some story
I do
about
have that. Yes, that's true.
Cells?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, you want to actually? Okay, I'll give you that story.
I was giving you the segue. I was.
No, that's nice of you.
That's called a professional toss to something that you
very kind. This is out of the United Kingdom.
Hold on. Excuse me. I don't want to interrupt. If you were thinking your mom's going to hear this tomorrow.
You're right. She is.
You want to wait
tomorrow?
Do you want to wait?
Know. I don't know. I could tease it. I
Ask
guess
your
it
mom.
could be the longest tease. Yeah, Ma, can I do this one now?
If Craig promises to come up with a new story for tomorrow, amongst the 800 that he already has set.
Look, whether or not I talk about this again at some point in the future on some other broadcast platform, scientists may have created a biogel that is capable of stopping supersonic objects, such as speeding bullets. This has been made from human cells. So this is something that might be a future thing that you use somewhere in a bulletproof vest. It would be very, very good at protecting your body. Although I don't know if you can't put it everywhere. So you're still in. That's the thing I don't get about the bulletproof vest. Can I say that just honestly?
Yes.
I would love to wear one if I thought I was in any danger, but I would completely think about how parts of me were still in danger.
The reason that it covers the chest area is that's the biggest mass. People have more of a chance of hitting you in the chest and upper torso than they do of winging you in an arm or a leg, because those are little and they're moving.
Or in the
head,
face.
Right, or your face. So they're, when people take aim, and the problem is most of these yahoos who are driving around shooting people, they're not aiming, they're just shooting. So who knows?
Yeah.
But that's the gist.
Have you fired a gun before, Noonan?
I fired a lot of guns,
okay.
From machine guns to handguns.
I want more details. I would like more details now.
Well, I've been to a number of. The first time was in college. A buddy of this is how long ago I went to college, Craig. It was in the Old West, and we all came on horseback. No, a guy I knew.
Two of your friends got dysentery on the way to college.
I ate 3 of them. It was you could bring weapons to campus as long as you check them in with campus security. So my buddy had brought a handgun to school and he checked it in with security. And one day he was like, "Hey, you want to go out to the woods and we're going to shoot stuff?" And I was like, "Hell yeah.
Let's do it."
Why wouldn't a guy in college just drive out to the woods with another guy with a loaded gun who may or may not have had beef with him? I don't know. Sounds like a good idea to me.
I can't answer any of that. Yeah.
So we went and we shot and it was fun. And then on the road doing comedy, a couple times I was with guys who were big gun enthusiasts, and we went to gun ranges in different cities. And that was kind of cool because you're shooting at the silhouette, just like you're in Dragnet or whatever, and you're shooting at the guy and going, "Oh, this is great." But the best, twice, I went through this FBI Citizens Academy thing where
I think I remember this actually.
Yes. And I was, you went to FBI headquarters in Chicago and went through all these different classes, and then there was a graduation, and twice I got to go to the FBI training firing range up north and use everything from handguns to machine guns to one time I got to use an old school Tommy gun.
Wow.
And you're shooting again at the same silhouettes, and you're watching, first of all, you watch the agents go through these raids and helicopters coming in and they're shooting and it's crazy. And then they go, "All right, let's go to the range." And it's like, all right.
So wait, I have a question then about all of the shooting you've done. How accurate were you? How often did you hit the vital parts?
I was actually, and I'm only saying this because I was pretty good.
Right.
I was, everything counted. I did not miss.
I'm assuming that you actually may have some talent as you're referencing there, but I imagine most people can get within the area of things, right? Because guns are they're so accurate now. That's why again, to go back to the bulletproof vest thing, I wonder how much protection that actually offers if people can point and shoot
now
easily.
Let me say this.
Yes.
I was shooting at a stationary target and I had plenty of time to line up my shots
Gotcha.
Get my stance, take my breath.
Not the real world.
Bang, bang, bang. If you were running at me, I don't know. Unless I had, an Uzi where I could just spray down everything and I'm hitting you no matter what because I've taken out a city block.
Well, good to know. That's good. Then this is a valuable thing. Then people need to pick this up. Yeah.
Oh, man. And just hearing you say it can stop a speeding bullet. I'm Superman then.
Supersonic objects.
Right. I could stop a bullet coming at me. That would be so. And I would hope that it would just like stick. And then, like in the movies where they just pull it out and just clink.
Yeah. I would like that.
And then the guy who shot it, you go,
if you could live a movie moment, is that the one you'd want?
No.
Like any generic happens in a bunch of movies moments, is that the one you'd want to live?
No, I want the one where the supermodel comes up and, I would like
I meant like a regular movie.
Listen. I would like the moment where the bad guy has to pay the price. I would like the moment of comeuppance.
Sure.
I would like to leave. Like today, I would have loved, I'm driving home and some jackweed cuts me off. Literally, like barely misses my bumper. And I honk. That's it. I just honk. And now I'm behind him. And he's literally dancing. He's making faces in the rear. And I'm sitting there and Debbie's in the car and I'm like, I'm trying to remain calm because I know I will die behind the wheel having a stroke. That's how I'm going to die. So I'm behind this guy. He gets to a point where he is going to turn right and I'm going to go straight. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting and he's slow. He intentionally like stops. He's going to make the turn and I don't honk again. I'm just waiting. And then he flips me off.
Oh.
Now in my ideal movie moment, I swing the car. I chase him and stop him. I drag him out through the window, pin him to the car. And I'm like, what? And I look down and he's wet his pants.
Sure.
And then he starts to cry.
Right.
At which point I just blow him a little kiss and drop his ass on the ground. And I walk back. Debbie swoons. Music swells. We're in bed. It's all. That's how the movie ends.
I gotcha. That makes. I've seen that in so many movies. I got to tell you, where he pulls the guy out of the car and he wets himself. That's definitely a
when the guy when the guy wets himself. That's the greatest part. Well,
right.
No,
I was going to give you an answer as generic as I'd like to walk away from an explosion without being afraid of it, but your answer was way better.
Well, I like the visual of you walking away from the
without being afraid. That's the other part.
Oh, sure. You don't even look back.
Right. In a movie, you're not going to be part of the explosion. In real life, you'd be terrified.
Oh, sure.
Right.
You're walking away. You're used to having warehouses blow up behind you. That's like Tuesday for you. You don't care.
Exactly.
Every time you walk through downtown Peoria, stuff's blowing up. So why would you be afraid?
I don't know. I would like to walk away casually from one explosion. That's a life goal.
Okay. Well, if you want, I can, your garage might go up pretty quick if you want.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, let's figure this out.
Let me know. I'll blow up your garage while you walk down the driveway.
Some people say that you're not a true friend, but to offer something like that, that's a true friend.
I will help a guy out. Yeah, I'll blow up your garage. Yeah, I want you to talk to your wife first. I don't want her mad at me.
Yeah. No,
after.
Of course.
Why did Brian come down and blow up our garage?
Would you buy the explosives or would I have to do that?
No, I'd take care of it.
Okay,
if I'm blowing up the garage, that's my responsibility.
Would it take you a long time to prep for it? Would I have to give you a day?
Well, I don't have a lot of that stuff lying around the house.
All right, okay.
All right. I got to go out to my storage area to get all my C4 and stuff. I don't keep that in the house. I'm not a lunatic.
Yeah. No, I get it. That makes sense.
I'm sitting on top of all the explosives. Those are somewhere else. Where if the self-storage place goes up, that's whatever.
Yeah, well, right. I just like to casually walk away from that.
Okay, I can blow up.
That'd be great.
Well, yeah, then you don't have to worry about rebuilding your garage.
Yeah, that's a part of it. Yeah, you're probably not going to get your deposit back on that storage unit though.
That's all right. I used a fake name and a fake card, so I have no financial investment in it whatsoever.
Fantastic. Yeah, this idea got so good.
Things just happen that way.
Yeah.
Things just happen that way.
I would take that over any other movie moment though. Like walking away just casually from an explosion. I don't think there's anything better than that, to be honest.
That's such a trope, but you're right. It is always, and it's always kind of cool. Even though you
it's
know
always
it's
cool.
coming, and you
Right.
go, that's so fake.
It doesn't matter who it is. If you think the actor would or wouldn't actually be that cool in that, it's always cool to see it in any movie. It could happen.
Now, let me ask you this, because there's also a lot of the guy diving through the window as the building explodes.
Sure.
Do you like that one as well, or do you want just the walking away coolly?
That would not be top choice.
Okay.
To survive an explosion by just making it would, I guess, be a thing that'd be cool. But top choice would be to casually walk away.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want the female lead to be over you as you lay there covered in dust and debris. Greg, are you okay?
Right.
Are you okay? And then you open your eyes and she smooches the dirt off your face.
Yeah. You're saying surprisingly survive an explosion where like they didn't think I made it, but I did, and I protected the person I'm with.
That's right.
That does get high on the okay. I know that might be higher actually now, if that's how it happens.
I always want something where I end up looking really good. Now your first scenario, you do look cool. There's no doubt about it. You don't flinch. You don't look back.
You're right.
You're like, oh, I gotta go get a sandwich. Don't you see everything blowing up behind you? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
What?
I don't even. Yes, I got other stuff. Yeah.
You know, there's a cheesesteak waiting for me over at Jersey Mike's.
You're right. This is a profound change in me, Noonan. You've brought it
really?
out. Yes. This is the first time I'll admit it. There is something better than the casual walking away explosion. It's the barely making it explosion where no one thinks I'm alive, and then they pan to me in all the rubble, and there I am, totally fine. That is a better one. Yeah,
that is a good one. Yeah. I like yours. I do still like my revenge fantasy where I get the guy.
Very specific. I don't think I've ever seen that in a movie.
You've never seen a guy wet his pants when he gets scared?
When you pull him out of the car and he wets his pants?
Okay. Well, I combine
pull out
two.
of the car.
Yeah, I've seen them both, so I combine them into one. Mostly aimed at this jackweed that was out.
Yeah,
today.
You really just wanted to beat the crap out of that guy.
I did, and that's why I thank goodness that I do not have a firearm or a bat in my car. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to let natural causes take me in the vehicle. I'm not going to do anything to spur it along.
Do you get bad road rage? Are you a road rage guy?
I am embarrassingly so. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm working on it. I'm trying. Like yesterday, I was driving out to my mom's. I played Christmas music, and I started to get frustrated with somebody. And Silent Night was on, and I was like, I can't lose my mind while Silent Night is on. I have to rein it in just a little bit. So I did. But the minute Silent Night was over, I'm like, you son of a what? Because here's the thing.
So hold on. Actually, wait. If you just like drove around with religious and or maybe like meditative music, maybe you'd be okay. Maybe you wouldn't like just spa music everywhere you went. Maybe you'd never, get that angry.
Maybe, but what am I going to do with all my Danzig 8 tracks?
I don't have an answer. Honestly,
of course, nobody has an answer. That's why, mother. That's Danzig.
I would love that though. If you got in somebody's car and they're like, look, I know I have some road rage issues and I'm working them out. So we're going to listen to just, spa music the entire drive now. We're just going to listen to meditation music. That'd be pretty cool.
I may have to do that because a couple months ago, I had like a horrific meltdown and Debbie and Molly were in the car.
Wow.
And the weird thing is, and I've talked about this with my therapist, I have gotten in real life much more in control of my anger and emotions. I've got a handle on it. I do pretty well the minute I get in the car because I'm at the mercy of other idiots. Yeah. And I know I'm not, but I believe sometimes that I am the only person with stuff to do. But again, I know rationally I'm not.
Right.
However, everybody else seems to be moving like they're in a zombie movie. Slow, and people today driving home, we're zipping down the expressway, 4 lanes of traffic, 3 lanes of traffic going at least 70, which was the speed limit, mostly more.
Sure.
All of a sudden, I'm coming up and there's a guy going probably 50 who, with nothing in front of him for a mile and a half, just hits his brakes. Stop.
Wow. Yeah,
and as I go around him, he's on the phone, literally looking straight down at his phone, while the rest of the world is flying past
driving
him.
Their cars, yeah.
Right. Like we should all have corporate stickers all over us. That's how fast we were driving. Now, should that guy be pulled out of his vehicle and impaled on a stick? Yes.
I get it. Yeah, I understand.
And then sometimes I'll say to Debbie, was I wrong to get mad at that? And she'll say, no, you were absolutely right. I go, okay.
Nice.
So,
you have an anger translator or an anger coach.
Right. Because like the guy who I wanted to pull out of the car so he peed himself, she was like, yeah, she's like, he's flipping you off?
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess I don't have a lot of that. Betty does. Betty.
Oh, does she
very
really?
Sweet. Oh, yeah. Very sweet, very nice person. But behind the wheel of a car, Betty also gets very upset with other individuals. Even one time, I feel like I might have told you this story before, when we were driving an old car we had that had no roof. It had like a little sunroof you could open. We were driving, and this like built dude in this giant Jeep cut her off, and she was cursing him out. And then we pull up to the stoplight, and she's still saying stuff about him. And it dawns on us that it's open. And he just yelled from his car, I can hear her in there. And I was just sitting there like, I got to fight this guy. I'm going to have to.
Yeah, you got to fight him.
Right. Yeah, I know. And I was not going to win that fight. No, yeah, right.
That's when she gets out of the car and whips a high heel and it right in his head. Just impales him right between the eyes. Yeah. And as he drops to his knees, that one little trickle of blood comes down. And Betty says, Feliz Navidad, bitches.
Oh, my God.
And drives away. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that would be great. If her kill shot catchphrase is Feliz Navidad, I would be so happy about it. That's one of the funniest things I've heard. It's not even Christmas when she does it. Nope. It doesn't matter what time of year it is.
Could be 4th of July, could be Arbor Day.
If she does the shoe throw kill shot, she says Feliz Navidad as she walks away from the body. That's hilarious.
Well, there you go.
Write
it into your script. Write it into your buddy comedy.
We're making that movie.
Samozin from, let's see, on YouTube. How bad was the road rage when the lights went out and the horn started blowing? There was no road rage there. That was sheer panic. We talked about the cars last week. Before we go, because you have 18 hours of radio to do tomorrow.
I got a lot of stuff, yeah.
I got a couple messages wondering, you're alive, so that answers the question. But if you used your plastic ramp to do any work on the Jeep, and if you suffered any injuries because of that.
I'm alive. I've used the plastic ramp on multiple occasions, even within the last week. I don't repair anything, though. I want to remind people about what I said the other week. I just look at stuff. I pay attention to things. I'm the guy who looks in the hole. That's the way I talked about it last week, who's not trying to fill the hole yet. I'm just looking at it, and eventually I'm coming up with a plan, but I'm still alive. So I don't know if at some point this will not be true, and I won't be here anymore. Well, and I don't know if Betty found me in the garage, if she'd still say Feliz Navidad as she found me there. But for
only
now,
if there's a shoe sticking out of your head.
I feel like the thing will crack before it just fully craters, and then I would be able to get out. But I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you'd hear a little, it'd be like ice. As you're walking out of there, so you're the...
I can't assume that it's weak enough to go from holding my car up to completely flat. And there's got to be a progression. And I think I would survive and then get something new.
Let's hope we don't have to find out.
I hope I don't.
That would be horrible. Right. Let's do the plugs one more time. Would you? I'll do them for you because you don't want to seem full of yourself. Craig starts off the next 2 weeks. You can hear Craig pretty much any time of the day. He'll be doing Tony Katz's morning show on WIBC from 6 to 9 Eastern for the next 2 weeks, starting on Monday, the 19th of December, going through the 30th. And then on January 2nd, if you go to WIBC.com, you can hear him there. And then because, 3 hours of radio, that's for amateurs. Craig's going to be on then from 9 to noon Eastern nationally. Mm-hmm. That's right, coast to coast on the Chad Benson Show, where he's been filling in for a number of years. Does a great job there from Monday the 19th to the 22nd. And then
I have a really great guest booked for Thursday at 10 o'clock, or no, 11 o'clock noon Eastern, 11 o'clock. Yes, a great guest, a guy that a lot of people that listen to this show might know. They might hear an hour of that guy on the program.
Nationally talking about making people pee their pants and whatever else.
Correct, yes.
Yes, I'll be joining Craig on Chad Benson's show Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, so that will be great. You can listen to Craig all the other days, too. I would say that's probably the better bet and leave, that 1 hour Don't use that 1 hour to judge the whole thing. Listen to the other days. Go to radioamerica.com, click listen live, and you can do that. And then just because why not? He's got a regular job. He better do it. You can hear him from 3 to 6 in the afternoon on WMBD. Go to WMBD.com. So 9 hours of radio for the next 2 weeks.
That's correct. Thank you, sir.
And then he'll be singing songs to try to break the Guinness Book of World Records because he wants to have no voice when he goes on vacation.
That's accurate. Yeah.
And
can't get in fights if you can't talk.
No, that's true. Well, I've gotten in a lot of fights just with gestures and looks.
All right. Good to know.
You can do that. I'll keep you updated. I'll be on WTMJ the 27th and the 29th. As I said, I'll be on with Craig on Thursday. We'll keep you updated. It has been a wonderful year. I want to thank everybody who listens and watches and tells people about it because that's why we're here. Want to thank Cody, who everything's going great with the. I saw a picture. Did I tell you this last week? I saw a picture of his son putting trucks on the baby.
Yeah.
Kids on brand, peace offering, trying to make good. So the baby is doing well. Cody's doing well. I want to thank Craig, of course, for jumping in. He's visited us a number of times, and then to come in and co-host with me has been great. So thank you, sir, for doing that. Sure. And we'll be off until January. We're gonna do what all the big showbiz folks do. Take off, and then unlike the other big showbiz folks who are lucky enough to have guys like Craig who go, I'll do your show. Nobody wants to do this show. Nobody wants to take over for us for 2 weeks. So we're just going to go. We're just going to take a break and rest up. But I'll tease this, when we come back, I'll have taken a road trip to Dallas. We'll have survived Christmas, and we'll see what else. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa. If you celebrate nothing, have a good Tuesday. I don't know what to tell you. Craig, any parting words?
Feliz Navidad, bitches.